Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Okay. Mazam, could I be the host, please? Did you all go through your environmental pollution notes, guys? I'm sure none of y'all went. Y'all were so excited actually talking about your drama. So, right? Okay, where's everybody? I can't see anybody. Already practicing for your drama? Okay, that's not playing. Yusuf, Mohammed, Uzair. Okay. Mohammed and Uzair, please share your number with Mudabbir so he can add you all in the group which they made for the drama. Okay. Right. So once again, how many of you all have gone through the environmental thing? Come on, guys, tell me. I'm so happy.
Ma'am, I went through those pages some time ago. Yesterday again I did not open it, but I went through them some time ago.
Oh, that's good. Okay, that's really nice. Maybe you thought it would be for your exams probably, and that's why.
Yeah,
The
ma'am.
last exam, right? Okay, right.
Yes.
No, don't worry. I keep my promise. Like, you know what? Who was that? Salman Khan ने एक बार commitment कर देता हो तो फिर मैं अपनी भी नहीं सुनता, right? That's what he said in some movie. Anyway, so because I've told you I'll be doing that. I've given the portion already, so I was completing only that much. Okay, coming back to our industry and commerce. Okay, so we did about the basic necessity. This is just a recap, and it's food, shelter, clothing, and how the basic necessities, grew up into wants and desires, and that led to the revolution in industries and more industries coming up. Okay, and we did what is business about how it's an economic activity and everything related to production, distribution, advertising, marketing, everything that is related. Okay, and we learned what is the consumer, the person who buys the end product. Okay, the end user, and we learned what the capital goods are. Okay, so basically we did. The production, like the business activities are divided in two parts, your industry and your commerce. And industry is everything that is related to growing, you're producing, you're raising, your construction, extraction, anything related to that is your industry. Okay. And commerce is the trade part of your business activity. So industry, they produce the goods and they produce all types of goods, even the consumer goods and the capital goods. Capital goods are what? Producer goods or manufacturer goods. Why? Because capital goods are again going to be used for the further production of some other product. Okay. And we learned about the types of industry. You had primary, everything related to nature was your primary industry. Okay. So you had your farming and you had your horticulture. Okay. And then genetic industry. So it's about reproduction and multiplying of plants and animals. So you have your spices and you have your chickens and your tandooris and all your rams and goats and cattle and your extractive industry where you're extracting, so you're mining ore, even your petroleum, diesel, oil, okay, and you have your construction industry and service industry, okay. So this is what we learned about industry. Now, one thing important is industry is the supply side of market and influences commerce. That means there is a demand for a product, okay, and who is the one who's supplying is the industry. So in the market you have a demand and you have supply. You have to see two things. You have a demand and you have a supply. So when you have a demand for some product, the person, the people, the entity who's supplying is the industry side. Got it? Remember, the suppliers are industry. Okay. right? And it influences commerce. When I say commerce, commerce is what? The other part of your business activity. Remember, there are two sides of a coin. One is your industry and one is your commerce. So industry affects commerce, right? If I ask you a question, how does industry influence commerce? How will you answer? How will you justify yourself, guys? Come on,
It is
think
related
about
to
it. It's
accounts,
a sorry,
but it is related to accounts.
accounts. Okay. What else? Come on. Commerce over here is related to everything like the distribution of goods. Okay, so commerce is not as a subject out here, it's a distribution of goods. Remember, business, one is responsible for the production and the manufacturing, the other is responsible, that's the commerce part, is responsible from getting it from the supplier to the end user. So how will you justify your answer? First thing, do you agree with me? You have to agree, no choice, right? Because I'm going to give you marks. So, well, anyways, uh, what do you think? Does industry influence commerce? Guys, think. Industry is responsible for supplying goods and products and services. And commerce is responsible for the distribution. So,
Ma'am, if there are no goods, there won't be any distribution.
thank you. Obviously, imagine goods that are produced, okay, right? If you don't produce any goods, then who is going to, what are you going to distribute, right? There's going to be no commerce, there's going to be no distribution. More the goods are produced, okay, then accordingly the distribution channels also increases. More areas you have to supply, the distribution channel increases. So definitely your industry definitely affects your commerce. Okay. So I hope you guys understood the concept of industry. Okay. Industry is not just factories. Industry is like, the entire thing responsible for the production and the manufacturing. Okay. Now we see the other side, that's the commerce side. Okay. So when I say commerce, okay, my commerce is all about distribution. Okay. It's all about distribution of your goods and your services. Okay, right. So now, supposedly, Mudabbir, okay, he has Mudabbir, what do you want to manufacture? Come on. Sorry?
Phones,
Again, phone? Give me something else, Mudabbir.
cables,
Sorry, cable.
yeah,
Okay. Suppose Mudabbir is manufacturing cables, okay, right? Now, he is into the manufacturing industry. Okay, he's in that particular industry right now. Okay, he has manufactured his cables and he's kept it. Okay, now you tell me how will, oh sorry, cables, Mudabbir, I'm so sorry. I thought about cables because it was so much related to, it was so much related to your phones and all, So, okay, so he's manufacturing cables, okay. Now he has manufactured it. He's a lovely artist, okay. It's like lovely tables he's having with the designs and all, okay. Now it's there with him. How is he going to sell it? How is he going to provide it to the customer? There is when your distribution comes. Okay, there is when your commerce comes. This is what commerce is all about, distributing. So what are we going to do is we're going to pick the tables up from Mudabbir and then we're going to supply it to the wholesalers or the retailers. Okay, that is what trade is. Trade is where you pick it up from a producer or manufacturer, okay, and then you provide it either to the retailer or the wholesaler or the end consumer. So this is what your trade is going to be, right? Now, supposingly, okay, Sakleen is in charge of IKEA, okay, and say Ahmed is in charge of Pepper Fry, okay, right? Now these are again branches. You know, these are the people who supply. These are wholesalers. These are the people who supply. They're not going to use it for their own self. Okay. So they will come in contact with Mudabbir, and automatically what will happen is they have a deal, whatever they want, you know, it's up to them. They finalize whatever the conditions are, and then Mudabbir sells it to them. Okay. So trade is nothing but what is buying and selling. Okay. That is trade. Just simple one thing, buying and selling. So the one who buys is a buyer, one who sells is a seller, and this thing is called as a trade. Okay. Now, trader is who? Who is a trader? He's a person who connects the producer to the end user. Like I said, me as an end user, I'm not going to go to Mudabbir and go and buy from him the tables. He's a producer, he's a manufacturer. I might go to IKEA, okay? I might go to, say, Ahmad for pepper fry, okay? Or I might go to Safiya. She has a small shop in Seawoods, Nerul, and maybe I can just go to her directly, okay? So the person who is a trader is always a middleman between the producer, that is Mudabbir, and the consumer, that is me. Okay, remember, okay, Mudabbir is your producer, I'm your consumer, okay, and the trader will be the middleman. So who is the middleman out here? It would be Thaqlain, it would be Ahmad, and it would be Safiya. Okay, now Thaqlain and Ahmad, okay, they would be wholesale traders. So we have wholesaler because they buy large quantities from Mudabbir. They have so many branches all around, okay? So they need to showcase it in all the branches, right? So they're going to buy it in large quantities from the producer, okay? And then they sell it to end consumers also and at times to the retailers also. Now, what does Safiya do? Safiya because she's got a small shop, okay, right? She might buy it from Mudabbir directly, or she might approach, say, Ahmad, or she might approach even Thaqlain and buy from them. And she'll sell it in smaller quantities, right? So imagine like maybe Mudabbir, okay, he would be selling about to Thaqlain and Ahmad 1,000 tables and of 10 different varieties. But Safiya, maybe she would just buy, because she's retail, these guys are wholesale. She would buy maybe only about 10 tables, right? And 5 different varieties. So remember, wholesaler and a retailer. Any confusion regarding this, guys? Any questions? Got it? Who's a wholesaler? Because we've done this earlier also, and I think this was just a recap, guys. Okay. Now, when I talk about, again, I'll just share my screen. Okay. So when I'm talking about trade, remember, it's only wholesaler and retailer that you need to remember. And trade is buying and selling. Trader is the person who's the middleman between the producer, that's Mudabbir, and the end consumer, that is me. Okay. Wholesaler is bulk quantities, large quantities. Retailer is in small quantities. Okay. Now, if a wholesaler is buying in large quantities, okay, Mudabbir, my question is to you, okay? Now, Ahmad and Thaqlain come to you and they say we want 1,000 tables, okay, and 10 different varieties. So if you do the math, that means they're buying almost 10,000 tables from you. Am I right? Right? Am I going right in math, guys? Yes or no? Oh, thank you. Yes. Shruti ma'am would be proud of me. Okay. So now, would you give any kind of discount to Thaqlain and Ahmad? And Safiya comes to you and she's buying only 100 tables from you. So would you be giving discount to Safiya as a retailer or to Thaqlain and Ahmad as a wholesaler?
Ahmad as a wholesaler.
Why are you giving them discount, Mudabbir?
They are buying more.
I don't see any of these guys. Why are you giving them discount, Mudabbir? Don't give them discount, okay? Yeah, go on.
Because they are buying more.
Okay. So when you buy more, what happens? Your fixed cost is the same. Only your variable cost increases per unit. So because of that, you can afford to give them discount. Okay, you can afford to give them discount you will not be in a loss. But with Safiya, because the quantity is less, you cannot afford to give a discount. All right. Now, okay, you've given them a discount, okay. Sakleen, Ahmad, now my question is to you guys. You've got a discount from Mudaffir, okay. Do you think you could sell 100 tables to Safiya at a discount?
Ma'am, no, because uh, we've already bought it at a discount from Mudaffir.
Okay. So could you give it to Safiya? I like Safiya. You have to give her a discount. Okay. Ahmed says no. See, Ahmed, Safiya, Ahmed is not giving you discount. So pepper price cancelled. Okay. Safiya, will you give discount? Go on. IKEA, will you give discount? Saklin, go on. Think. Don't think because she's your friend or something. Think from the business viewpoint. Will you be giving a discount to her?
Yes, ma'am, I will.
Why? Why? How do you justify your answer?
And because I am holding a wholesale market and I have to sell it to a retailer. That's why.
Yes, because already you have a benefit of getting a discount from your manufacturer. Secondly, because your wholesale market, so your overhead gets distributed. Remember, this is the way the other, this wholesale, like you have your big bazaars and you have your DMarts and all. This is the way they work. Because your overhead expenses, okay, all your overhead expenses get distributed in that many amount of units, like 10,000 tables. So in case if your overheads are like 1,000, so you're distributing your 10,000, your 1,000 rupees of overhead is getting distributed by 10,000 tables. So this is having benefits of discount from buying from your producer. Second is having the benefit of large scale of selling. Because you have bulk quantities, whatever is your overhead gets distributed over all those quantities and automatically your cost reduces. So when your cost reduces, automatically your profit margin increases. And you are in a position to give a discount. If you have 100 tables only, Saklin, with you, remember 1,000 is your overhead cost. I'm just giving an approximate figure. 1,000 is your overhead cost. That means per table, you have to pay 10 rupees. Your costing is 10 rupees, right? So definitely your margin of profit decreases. Now imagine you have about what, 10,000 tables. Now 10,000 tables and 1,000 is your cost. So imagine 1,000 divided by 10,000. Your answer is going in point zeros, yeah? So you're paying paise, not even rupees, you're paying in paise, yes? Yes, Safiya?
You should keep it because you're selling 10,000 table. You should keep 100 rupees wrap. 10 rupees. Business has earning profit, ma'am. 10 rupees.
No, I'm giving this example, Safiya, just an example. So you all need to understand that whenever there's bulk, like this is the way wholesalers work. Why can they afford to give discount? First thing is they buy from producers directly, they get a discount from the producers at the lower price. Secondly, they have the benefits of large scale of selling. Okay. Now, coming back to where were we? Now, the other part of distribution first is trade, and the other part of distribution is age to trade. When I say age to trade, what do I mean by that? Anybody? Things that help my trading, things that facilitate, make it easier for me to trade. So when I say trade, it comes to my mind is buying and selling. That means the distribution of goods and services. So what would be the age of trade? Come on, guys. What do you think would be the age of trade? How can I distribute my goods? How can I help in buying and selling? Yes, Saklin, Ahmad, Uzair. What would be the age to trade? Come on, think about it. You understood trade. Trade is nothing but buying and selling. Okay, so when you're buying, when you're selling, when you're distributing, so what are the things that you would require? They all come in H to trade.
Ma'am, transportation.
Advertising.
Oh, wow, that's good. Transportation, yes. What else?
Warehousing.
Advertising.
Thank you, Farhana. Advertising, yes. What else?
Warehousing.
Oh, yes, you need warehouses. You need because places to store the goods and goods definitely. Yes. What else?
Insurance.
Yeah. Now I know, Sophia. You're watching. You're reading the book and telling me. Yeah. Am I right? Yeah. Okay. No problem. Yeah. Insurance and what else, Sophia? The last one.
Banking.
Banking. Okay. Transportation, warehousing, insurance, advertising, and banking. Right? You need these things to make your trade smooth and efficient. Do you all agree with me or no? Do I need H to trade, guys? Come on, I'll be asking you questions like these in exams.
Yes, ma'am, you need.
Yeah, and why do I need it? Justify your answer.
Ma'am, you need transportation. Uh,
No, first don't tell me why I need transportation or warehousing. Just tell me why do I need H to trade? I've given
warehousing.
no. I don't want transportation right now. I want to know why I need H to trade. I've given that answer already, guys. What is trade?
Buying and selling.
Thank you, Sakleen. You're the only one who's paying attention. Yes, buying and
Buying
selling.
and selling
Okay.
of goods and services.
Thank you.
Of goods and services.
Yeah. Thank you. Yes, it's right, Safiya. Go on, Farhana. I thought she just said ma'am, right? Okay. Okay. So trade is buying and selling. Yeah. So when trade is buying and selling, why do I need H to trade? Yes, Mozam.
For buying and selling.
Yes, for buying and selling, but I need one word, specifically one word.
For trading.
Yeah, for trading, but why do I need it? Do I really need a warehouse? Do I really need transportation? Do I need banking? These are the things which are important because
And
they
to make
help.
the business strong.
Yes, to make the because you're trading to make it very easy, right? To make sure that the goods and the services are easily available. These are the things that are required. Okay, from manufacturing to okay wholesaler. Okay, there is IPO, right? And you have Pepperfry, you have Safiya, right? But from Mudabbir, getting the goods from Mudabbir's end over here till IKEA and Pepperfry and Safiya, how are you going to do that? So you need the age of trade, okay? These are to help you to make sure that the goods go, they travel, they flow from the manufacturing center, from the manufacturing unit to the consumption. Okay, so first is your transportation. Okay, what are the types of transportation you can use? Come on, Mudabbir, he's made tables. What are the types of transportation he can use? You can't just use all the transportation. You have to see your goods. You have to see where you have to send them. You have to see what is the geography area. You have to physiology. This all you need to consider. So yes, what are the types of transportation do you think Mudabbir y'all can use? It's tables.
And plane.
Okay, plane. Yes, guys. Do you all agree with Safiya?
And because you need plane for traveling fast to other countries.
See, by the way, transportation is like you cannot see. You have many types of transportation. You have your land, you have your air, you have your water. So what would you do? Air. Okay, Safiya says air. Okay, how many of you all agree with Safiya? Come on. It's okay to disagree. 1,000 tables there. Okay, Saklain agrees with Sakia. Rest all don't agree. Rest all are not paying attention or... Okay, water because it's cheaper, right? Anybody else?
Water and air both.
Water and air both. Okay, anybody else has some other answer? Come on, guys. Suppose it's produced in Gurgaon, Delhi, right? And they have to send it to Bombay. Okay, Mudabbir is in Gurgaon, Delhi, right, Mudabbir? And you need to send it to Bombay. So I think water wouldn't work.
Air and road or railway.
Okay, so in road, yes, road you have railways also and you have trucks also. Okay, okay, so air, all right. 10,000 tables by air. What's wrong with you guys? Ek kaam karo, leave the class. I'm going to tell, I'm not going to do business studies with Tagore. 10,000 tables by air. Think about the cost. Ahmed, well done. You said, Ahmed said very right. Yes, it's going to be cheaper if it goes by water. But then if it was at a port, maybe Ahmedabad, say in Gujarat, or probably if it was, Kerala, any coastal area, then definitely water. But land is the most appropriate mode of transport for you guys.
It could be a big plane which has.
No, Sophia. Even if it's a big plane, your cost, because you're going to pay the air freight, you have to pay the cargo of it. And it's going to work out very expensive. Railways, water, roads, they are cheaper options, right? So yes, you could use railways definitely, and you could definitely go for road transport also. But railway is a better option because again, it's bulk, so it will work out cheaper. And yes, if it's a coastal, then well done, Ahmed. You would definitely go for water. Okay, so I hope you understand. You need to consider different elements when you're transporting. It's not always about how fast it reaches. Okay, it's always even important considering the bulk, the size, okay, and the quantity, and also the costing. Okay. Now, why do I need warehousing?
To keep your transport, to keep your this.
Good. Okay. Now, Mudabbir has. Okay, Mudabbir, you made what? Tables. You're making tables, right? Your company. Okay. Now, what happens is like Mudabbir is not going to wait. Oh, I'm going to get an order and then I'm going to start my manufacturing. His manufacturing is going continuously at an even pace. Okay. Now, when he's going continuously at an even pace, he might get orders. Suppose he's produced about already every month his production is going on 100 probably. When he gets a demand for more, he produces more. Okay. He doesn't get an order. He produces in Jan, Feb, March, April, May. In June, he gets an order. Right? Every month, what happens? 100 tables. 6 months, how many tables does he have? 600. Okay. Where is he going to keep those 600 tables? Will he keep it in his factory? Right? Some factories have that kind of space, okay, but some factories do not. And it is not very advisable also to use your factory space for storage all the time. That is the time warehouses come into picture. And warehouses are nothing like go downs, okay, right? So whenever there's I'm just giving a rough number of 100. It's not 100. You produce in thousands. You produce in lakhs, okay? So whenever there's a mass production, you need to store your goods, okay? And they should be stored very carefully. You have to consider that, they are not damaged, okay? Or there is no theft and everything, okay? Remember theft word I'm using, guys. So I'm giving you a hint now, right? And till the time they are sold, you need to keep them somewhere. and these are known as warehouses. Warehousing, people charge you for it. Okay, there's a rent you need to pay. Okay, and definitely as and when there's a requirement, like when Sakleen says and he says I want 10,000, so from the warehouse it is sent to Sakleen. From the warehouse it's sent to Ahmed and it's sent to Safiya as and when it is sold. Okay, so again, of course, this is a work wherein you have the people looking out also warehousing, also the inventory also you need to check how much goods are available, how much is sold, but then you have employees for that, you can hire people for that. So remember, rather than, people do not prefer having a storage facility in their own factories, in their own business units. Rather, they store in warehouses, but this is for mass production, not for only, producing only few items, that also very, limited period of time, but intermittent in break in between, like you produce something in Jan and after 3 months again you produce in April. No, this is for continuous and mass production. Okay. Now, when I talk about theft and all, okay, so do you think insurance is important? See, I know Islam, insurance and all, okay, but this is a general perspective for you to know what is happening in the business, in the commerce side of business. That's the reason I'm talking about. So do you think insurance is required? And why do people take insurance? Yes?
It's important. It is important because if something happens suddenly, then you don't have anything.
Exactly. So what could happen? Maybe a good could be, there could be a theft. What other kind of things do you think could happen? Hmm?
Maybe a warehouse collapse.
Okay, good. Or a fire, right? Or
Maybe a
even,
business goes in loss.
okay. How about something like, like the goods getting damaged? Okay, so there are many things that could happen, and your goods could be damaged or destroyed, right? So for this, usually businessmen, what they do, they have insurance. That means the insurance company, right? They compensate. Yeah, they compensate the business person for the loss suffered. Okay. Now for this, what happens is like the businesses have to take an insurance policy. Okay, and every year they pay a premium. Okay, so when you take a policy, that amount of policy, we will go into this a bit of detail. I don't think it's there in your portion, but all these points I would like to cover up a bit more down the line, because they are going to be important when you go in for your commerce and higher degree in your master studies and all. So you have your insurance policy, okay, and the amount of insurance policy you take, you get compensation according to it. Okay, higher your insurance policy, higher the premium. Premium is that a fixed amount is decided, okay, and you have to pay every year that amount to the insurance company. That's your premium. Okay, now if first is Mudabbir, okay, suppose his goods get damaged, okay, and whatever, it could be due to fire or whatever, it could get damaged, okay. And Ahmed can't hear me. Can others hear me? Yes, thank you. Okay, Mudabbir's goods get damaged, okay, and then he will actually claim it from the insurance company. Insurance company will send officers to check whether it was deliberately done by Mudabbir or it was a genuine fire. Once they are okay, they will approve, they will check his policy, okay, and accordingly, they will check what is the damage done, the amount of damage done, and they will pay. So this is kind of comfort, a cocoon for a business to protect it from loss. Okay. If Mudabbir has loss in business because his business model wasn't good, then it doesn't matter. That is not insurance policy. Insurance is on the goods. Okay, if there's a loss of goods, if a damage is done to the goods, then the insurance policy is there. Okay, advertising, guys. Do I need advertising?
Yes, ma'am. Because if there is no advertising, how will the people know about it?
Perfect, perfect, perfect. So advertising is basically communicating to the people about your goods and your services. Excuse me. Okay, so it's communicating to people about your goods and services. It's creating an awareness. It's also making sure that the people who buy from you are always loyal to you. So, it's a creating a brand awareness, brand loyalty. Brand loyalty is like once they buy from you, you make sure that they keep on buying from you all the time. So all this information, okay, about your product, how good it is and how it's better than the competitors and what discounts you're getting and what promotion, what benefits they're getting from it, this all is done through advertising. Okay, and the advertising can be done through your newspapers, through your radios, through your television, on your internet, everything. Okay, that would be. In fact, you have your hoardings, your billboards out there when you go travel on the road. This all is a part of your advertising. So again, this helps me. This is aid of trade. Why? This helps that to ensure that Muzaffar goods are sold, his tables are sold, right? And for me as a buyer, I get an idea. Oh wow, okay, now this is in the market. I didn't know, like such kind of tables were in the market. So advertising definitely aids, definitely helps in trade. Okay. And lastly, banking. Okay. So do I need banking? Does banking help in the buy and supply in the trade? Come on, of goods and services.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. And why?
Ma'am, because we need to invest our money somewhere.
Right. Bankers will invest in us when we need money. Okay. Now Sakleen wants to buy from Muzaffar, but sadly he's running short of money. Okay. So what will he
Maybe,
do?
ma'am.
Yes, Sophia?
Maybe the employees, ma'am. Because when you need special type of employees for a business, maybe they will want more money and you don't have that much money to pay them.
Yes, exactly, exactly. So that is the time you will take loan. Yes, thank you. So Sakleen will take loan from bank, okay, and then he will buy, and whatever is the interest, he'll be paying that. And over the period of time, he'll pay the main amount also, the principal amount. That is called the principal amount, how much loan he's taken, he'll pay that also. So bank is required for the finance part, for the capital, that is the backbone of a industry. The finance is the backbone of any business. Okay. So this is what is done. Okay. This was just a brief. Until year only you're going to have it for exams, right? Okay. I really wanted to go more deeper into this topic because it is very interesting. But let's see, if time allows, then definitely I'll go in this topic also. And if time permits, if we finish before time of portion, okay, I also want to go in for uh, the balance sheet. You have your balance sheet. I'll like to introduce you to the different parts of balance sheet. You have your trading accounts, you have your liabilities, and you have your even your assets and how do they go about the costing part. I would like to do that with you guys. The taxation part, just a bit, not in detail, just an overview. So basically, if we have time, we will do it. If we don't have time and if you agree to continue with Golden Sparrow in grade 11, then definitely I'm going to do that over there with you. So, okay, coming back to our paper, okay, how your exams would be. I'll just show it to you. Okay. Now it is offline. Now it is offline. Okay, you have your 50 marks paper, guys. So I'm dividing it into 30 and 20. Okay, just a minute. Your 20 marks will be your practicals. Okay, so your practicals will be this. I'll just share the screen. I got it. Okay. Okay. Can you see these activities for you? in your PDF, which is the first one, okay, introduction to business. It's the last page or introduction to business. These activities are there. It's for 20 marks. You need to do them, okay? And you have to give me even the name, proper names, okay? So like find out 10 working people around you. So you will give me the name of the person, okay, the company, and what designation. And then you say whether it's a business, a profession, or employment. Got it, everybody? Yeah?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, because if you don't do in that format, it won't be accepted, okay? Now you talk to a shopkeeper or any businessman. You give me the name of the business or the name of the shop, okay? The contact person, you know, it will be in that order. The contact person, and then you give me this detail. Okay, rest all is the same thing. So whenever you're having a shopkeeper and all, okay, this is the way you're going to go for it. Okay, I'll just put it out here. Okay, so it's the name of shop or probably of
And you're
business,
also a business person, right?
contact person. Yes, Sophia, sorry, I couldn't get you. Okay.
I asked you're also a business person, right?
I don't think so. So, okay, contact details. I used to do business earlier. That was different. But now I guess I'm into education. I'm a profession into, okay. So, name of the shop or business, that is there. Your contact person name, your contact, the person's contact details. Maybe you give me the phone number. Okay. The same for your first one. This was, okay, this is for your second question, guys. So, I wanted for your first one. And please make sure it's not always your mom and dad and your aunties and uncles you're talking to, okay? Widen your horizon, guys. Okay. So the first one would be, you will give me the name. This is for your question one. It would be the name, the company. Okay. And again, contact details. Okay, and then you will say whether it's a business or whether it's a profession or whether it's an employment. Got it, guys?
And yet actually I don't know anyone. There are
No, you will find out. Don't worry, you will get in touch. A few of them can be, of course, your relatives. That is okay, but otherwise, this would be okay. Okay, then again, from some business person or a shopkeeper, you can get in touch and ask them about the objectives of running the business. Okay, and then you classify them, identify. Again, wherever you go, just let me know the name, the company or the shop name, and accordingly. Got it? So this is on your last page of your first module, first chapter, that is Introduction to Business. You all have got the format. I'm stopping the screen share. Okay. The 30 marks, like previous time, like last time, what did we had? Again, objectives will be there. All right. Maybe true or false, and justify your answers. Your 2-mark question, your 5-mark question. But guys, this time, 5-mark question is something I want answers with content. Just don't give me points. Like last time you did, you just gave me points. Do not give me points. Write the points, okay? Whenever I ask for a 5-mark question, okay, if there's a definition, give a definition. If there is no definition, okay, like what is business? So either you define the business or you define or explain the term business in 2 sentences. Remember, this is for all your 5-mark questions. This is the way you go. And then you start writing the point. When you write the point, make sure you underline the point. After you underline, at least give me 3 sentences about that point. And give examples wherever possible. And smart pants and brilliant guys, the point which you've written, just do not rephrase it and give me in content. give me something more confident. Got it, guys? Even for your 2 mark question, you have 2 points. Make sure you give your 2 points, but always don't start your answer with just writing points. Make sure that you either explain that term in one sentence when it's 2 marks answer, or you give a definition and then start your point. Always you make sure that. And if it's a 5 mark, then you give at least 2 or 3 sentences. Give examples wherever possible, give justifications wherever possible, underline your point, write it nicely, neatly. Guys, you are the gods, not some Curies and Newtons, that you just give me a point answer. So do well, everything will go very well smooth. I'm hoping to see you all today at 5 o'clock at my place, okay? So be there and please be on time so that y'all can wind up and give more time to each other, because again, waiting is not fair to others who be on time. And that's one of the reasons Farhana has made sure that her room is clean and her house is clean. Otherwise, she doesn't help me, with housework. So just because you guys are coming, she's cleared everything, right? So, no, anyways, that's a joke. I'll see you all today evening at 5 o'clock. Till then, take care. Any questions about your papers, your business studies exam, please get back to me, guys. Please get back to me. Okay? Till then, take care. Bye-bye. And please do study for business studies also. Just don't concentrate on lit circles. Bye-bye.